Bore da, croeso. Cenedlaeth o Asg ar gyfer gemau Lloegr a Gwlad Belg. Good morning, welcome to the FAW and the Wednesday 1876 press conference with Craig Bellamy, looking ahead to England and Belgium in the next couple of weeks. David, do you want to go first?
Yep.
Okay.
Craig, morning. Hope you're well.
Yeah, very well. Good morning to everyone. Good to see so many people here. And we must be playing some big games. So, thank you for coming.
Good stuff. Can we start with Aaron Ramsey, please?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
One of the headline stories of the squad.
Like a headline, David.
We all do.
Read your bits lately.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Cheers, Craig. Can you tell us, what he's shown you since the last squad when he missed out, and what he can offer you in these two games?
Yeah, he's fit. I haven't had that luxury with him. When I look back at the first game, I know it was a while ago, against Turkey, he was immense. He has the brain. That's never going to go. We have legs in and around him that could really benefit from his type of player. His type of profile. What I've seen is a player fit who still has a lot to offer. And in the way we play, definitely has a lot to offer in how we play. So, we've got to get to Sunday. As we know, we did say maybe these interviews probably be better on a Sunday. Then we have a real good idea of the squad, because we still have another couple of games to play. But he's a player I massively admire, and he still has a lot to offer us.
Injuries are always a talking point for the reasons you mentioned there. Dan James is included, but there have been some reports unconfirmed from Leeds that he's got a knee injury. Are you able to give us the latest on his situation?
That's the first I've heard of a knee injury. He has an ankle problem. We're waiting to see. And nothing's been confirmed yet, so if it's good, brilliant. But if it isn't, then we adapt. So it's we're just waiting for confirmation, really. It's still too early by the time we go through this now, so we're waiting to see on that one.
And just for the games themselves, you said that you picked England and Canada earlier this month, to test your squad. What are the challenges for you in terms of balancing these two games? Because Belgium is obviously such an important.
Yeah.
How do you approach the two games together?
We use the squad again, but it's against intensity, which we're playing against. Like Canada offered that. England will certainly offer that. It allows us to keep improving. We need to improve. We want to be better. I want to be better as a coach. So why wouldn't you play the best opposition you can that's available to you at that time? Because, say for instance, the intensity of a press with these type of teams, then we have to create the angles even quicker. We have to be clean in everything we do, because it's the pressure's coming on. Now a team that drops off, now we're able to impose our game on, is great. We've managed to have not really any problems with that. But that intensity of, there's a different intensity with these type of teams. That's why it's top level. So us to be able to play the way we want to play tests us and it stretches us. And I always see that as a good thing. I never see that as a negative. We all want to be tested as individuals. And it leaves you to be more excited as well. Like the amount of work over the last couple of weeks, looking at England, looking at Belgium, it's so good. You see different bits, you've seen different habits from the coaches, different ways their teams are able to adapt, incredible intensity. We talk about athletic profile of players, individuals, they all have. So it's a big test. It's a big stretch for us. It's not, but it's who we want to be. I only see this as a plus. I don't look at it any other way. I don't fear it, nor do I. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's like, this is what you want.
That kind of answers the second part of the question. some fans have wondered. Some fans, you know,
Okay.
chat on social media, but
So yeah,
that kind of thing.
you're more into that than I am.
Well, I have to be, but
Okay.
But some have wondered maybe that, you know, the risk of, say, it could have on.
I don't use the word
players.
risk. I don't like the word risk.
Okay,
It's football. There's no risk in football.
it's just part of the all-round package, but the positives outweigh the potential negatives for you.
David, I think I'm quite a positive person. I know it's not our nature as Welsh people to be that way. I am. I only look at positives. I don't look at the negatives. I'm aware of certain areas that we have to be aware of and careful of. But for me, it's always a positive. Now, I know what you're trying to refer to is like England. Why would you play England? It's down the road. We get to play them on a Thursday instead of a Friday, which is the only one available on a Thursday. Wembley Stadium against one of the top nations in the world. I don't know what that is, apart from being excited. So I don't see that as a, you know, for me, it's you lead into another game of high intensity again. You're ready. Because you've just got that moment, you've got that rhythm, you've got that momentum. I see that as it's really important going into the next game as well.
And just finally, for me, looking slightly further ahead, more of a long-term prospect, Mikey Moore as a player the FAW have looked at.
We look at every player, and was available. I prefer if it wasn't Ed, if I'm being honest. It does us no favours. We do our work behind the scenes. We do it for every player who we feel is going to offer us something. But I'm always against pressure from the outside. I've spoke to a lot of other young players that we feel would definitely benefit us in the future. We need a big squad. So we're always aware of that. We would be naive not to be aware of it. Any individual, I don't believe, especially a young player, should be publicly made aware, or it should be in the public domain. I understand it.
That's great.
You're right. Thank you.
Just pick up on Aaron. I think the last month you said, listen, he's got to get used to his environments, got to get him training, got to get him playing. From what you've seen, listen, I know he's very popular out there with that goal the other week. From what you've seen, fed back, what's been sort of said to you in the last month with Aaron, from how he's enjoying training, managing his body, etc., etc. Because, as you say there, got the brain, but he's managed his body for quite a long time.
We all do as we get older. We all have to manage ourselves, and probably you gain more experience in being able to manage yourself. But at the same time, his club have really worked with him on that as well. They've really, there was a game he played on the Sunday, and then on the Wednesday he was on the bench. It was right. So they're really managing him, which is brilliant for us. Now we've had someone out there as well over a couple of weekends ago to give us all his data back, how he's training, and everything was positive. So it's only been good news for us, really.
Just in terms of some names you've got back, again, we've spoken a lot about Ethan Ampadu. You know, what a player at what an age, and his potential. To express your frustration, that's the wrong word, but I know you've wanted to work with him more as the national manager. Now you've got him. Hopefully, he comes through the weekend fit for you. What could he bring to you?
No, his leadership skills for someone so young is beyond impressive. But he's just a talented player and has the. I know, you hear me like a broken record talk about profile, but he definitely has the profile that I like in a six. And also, the big part of this as well is we need depth in that area as well. So when Ethan is out, we have to have that depth. Now we've been able to expose that as well, and been able to give players the opportunity because we haven't had Ethan. But for me, it's such a key area of the pitch for how we play. And Ethan is is a top level performer in that area. So hopefully everything comes off and he's able to meet up with us Sunday, because these two games with the intensity that's going to come, the angles we're going to need to create, the speed we're going to have to create those angles at. He's definitely a player that's able to do that.
In terms of the two games now, obviously you've spoken a lot about the England game. In terms of the Belgium game, just where this group, because it's coming towards its conclusion now. I know you go into every game to win it, but if you do win it, is this the point at which automatic qualification is really, really on the cards if you can get a victory over Belgium? And just maybe also the second part of the question, very obvious one, but the challenge of playing Belgium but using what you've learnt from the game in Brussels, but also manifesting that home advantage as well.
They're all key factors. Of course, being at home, it was sold out very, very quick. But then, like, we sell out anyway, really. Like, we're taking, I think, 7,500 to England as well. So the support's always there. We've seen it over the last number of years as well, how beneficial it's been to us. But in terms of the group, of course, I'm not going to deny the fact that it'll be a lot clearer after the game. And for us, it's no change, honestly. It was the same as when we went out there. It's the same as the way we approach every game, which you alluded to then. We look to win. And we set up to win. There's no other way I know how to do it or want to do it. It's to try and win. What's the best way? What weaknesses do we see? What strengths do we see they have? And that's the same with England as well. They all have certain weaknesses. They all have certain strengths. Now, these two teams have more strengths than they do weaknesses, of course. But there's still parts we can exploit. But it tests our identity even more. Now, who are we? What do we stand for? What's our intensity like? How do we press? What are our habits without the ball? Now, these games test you, they stress you. Then you really see who you are. I've been so pleased with the outcome of 99% of the games so far, of the habits of the players. And that's what makes these two games really exciting, because you'll see more again. I've always felt when I've come away from a game where we're a good team, we're good. And I honestly believe over the next two games I'm going to have that feeling again.
You've actually kind of part answered my next question, which is more about sort of you. Shortish international managerial career, but these two games now, is this the biggest challenge? Because you've got two huge nations, 4 days apart. Is this the biggest challenge you've kind of faced in a camp together?
I got to be honest, they've all felt like the biggest challenges. That even the first time, with Turkey and then Montenegro away, it was my first games as a manager. That I didn't know how it was going to go. I believed I had a feeling or a smell. This was what it was going to be, but you never know until you're there. And I have to be honest, Iceland away was, even leading up before it, was like, I'm still not sure. And I just feel the players give you that, I have a big group of players that have been to major tournaments, that have qualified. So they give you that sense of calmness. Do you understand? They've been there. They've been in the big moments. And these two games are never two big moments. But if you really sat us all down and sat myself down, what do you want to be up against? Who do you want to play? Like, we would bite your hand off for these two games. We really would. Because this is the test. This is what we want to be up against. Now, you'll know in your line of work as well, and everyone's line of work here, you want to be competing with the best. You'll never know who you truly are. I got a good idea of playing against certain oppositions, and I wouldn't say weaker ones because they all have their tests, but where we want to go, if we want to get to this World Cup, we're going to play teams, like 20 odd teams that are going to be ranked lower than us. Now, I don't have the luxury of having a group or having a load of games that teams are ranked in a better position than us, or like you don't get that opportunity. So I've had Turkey, I've had Belgium in 12 games. Now Canada we threw into that as well, sorry, that have a better ranking than us. Now we're going to go on to Group A, which is like top 16 in Europe, so Nations League, which you're going to be exposed to teams that are ranked better than you. Like, we want to live in that environment because it's going to improve us. We're going to keep going forward, and also improve me as a coach, which I'm obviously selfishly very keen on. Because why? Like, this is why we do it now. So yeah, the two tests, I haven't looked at it that way, or I've got to be honest, I've looked at it more in excitement, because planning for these two games has been a joy. It really has, honestly. It's been, when you're watching really good opposition, and you're going through their games, it's so good. You see top level coaches as well, and it allows you to maybe be more creative. It allows you to, like I said then, be really excited because of what these coaches and what these players can bring to their nations.
Let's get out, Lawrence.
Craig, looking at, I think in the last press conference you talked about when games fall during a qualifying period. Having Belgium against North Macedonia coming up ahead of playing them, is that a benefit for Wales? And can you see North Macedonia causing a surprise there?
No, I thought they were third ranked, and okay, they had a very good Group C, which they won all their games. They played more forward at the back in this campaign against ourselves and Belgium. They've gone back to 5, so we've seen a common theme there, which the coach can do against stronger teams who he feels who are maybe stronger. He'll move to a back 5. They spend a longer periods without the ball, which they're happy to, because the attacking threat they do have. They do have good players in the attacking final third. So the Belgium game with Macedonia, you know, they've got to come to us and they've got to go to Belgium, of course. So the tough part of the group really kicks in for them now. And that's going to be a good game. That's really, you know, we play Thursday, Friday's nice. I get to watch that. So looking forward to that, because I'm just looking forward to how it plans out. I believe Belgium have a lot of the ball. There'll be a lot more on the attack. But the counter-attacking threat North Macedonia do have always give you, it always leaves you, you have to be concerned and you have to pay it respect. So I wasn't as much surprised, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I say that, yeah, I was surprised when we played them away. I thought they might have gone to a 4 and they might have attacked us a bit more. They didn't. They were happy to sit back and look for the counter attack. But it's an area of the game now. They've had success over a certain period. You know, they qualified in 2020, so they still have a lot of players who have qualified for a major tournament from that group. So they do have experience. But Belgium, I see as the top seeds. Of course, they're there for a reason. And what happens in that game definitely going to have a huge effect in ours. But it's pressure for them as well. And I don't mean that pressure. It's like one of the top teams in the world. They've been to every major tournament going in the last number of years. So it's an area where they're comfortable in. But that's another big game in this group. And then we react off the back of it then, see what happens. But yeah, it's a nice fixture. That's why it led me as well at like the intensity of a game. Like that game's going to be intensity. Belgium, the home team, they're going to have to go really strong for it. So I want us in that habit as well. So then the two of game ready, boom, let's fight it out and see what we do Monday night, am I right? Yeah, but you have to give me the days. Let's just go toe to toe. Intensity wins. Let's see if we can be the most.
And then just finally for me, Joe Rodon made that kind of leap into the Premier League with Leeds. Maybe felt like he had a bit of unfinished business with the Premier League after Spurs and.
I know I've spoke about it on a number of occasions. No surprise. He has all the attributes that belong in the Premier League. I've been a big fan of him for a number of years. Like, I do follow Welsh players, and I've always had a huge soft spot for Welsh players as well. So I really watch their developments. But I've been able to watch from his loan spells as well. I remember even when I was going to go into Oxford, I was already looking on bringing him in on loan. So he's a player I've had my eye on, and when we were at Burnley, we wanted to bring him in. So we obviously felt, and I always felt he was a player for the high level. And what we're seeing now is that player. Okay, the answer is sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Yeah.
I agree. Just two bigger picture ones. On the England game, I'm just interested on where you stand on the sort of rivalry element of it. Is that something, when the game comes around, that you will lean into with your players? Appreciate it's a friendly, but...
Believe in friendlies. There isn't, when you're representing your countries. I don't believe in them. So we're respectful to what we have coming up as well. But we're going to win. I say going to win, I don't mean to sound like... We're going there to try and win. Yes.
You just took Dav's headline away.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Again, sorry, David. No, the rivalry, thanks for others. I don't buy into it. It's not with me. I've grown up in England. I have full respect for how they... and my football education's been in England, so and I just see it honestly as a top nation. You know, they've got to the finals, 2 finals in a row with the Euros. We get the opportunity and to go and play, like I said, a top manager, top nation, rivalry and all that. That's for what? You know, our biggest rivals are ourselves. Who we are. Who are the people we represent? That's our identity. Now, we show that in every single game. How we work without the ball, how we get back in numbers, how we show our personality when we have the ball. That's who we want to be. That's the team I want to coach. That's what I'm more concerned on than a rivalry. You know, that's not, I don't buy into that, and I've never looked at it that way. I just see it as a top nation that gives us, hopefully, we get the opportunity to be able to do the best version of ourselves against a top team.
And just on the Belgium game, does it, we talked about the importance of it in the context of the group and the clarity that we'll have after the result. Does it feel like your sort of time in charge of Wales has been building towards a game like this? You've worked in what you want with the players, you've worked in a bit of adaptability that I know you talk about a lot as well. Does it feel like now this is really where the rubber meets the road, so to speak?
No. I just see it as like, let's go. Let's go full on. Happens. I know this game. We can draw. It never has changed. Now, can we be full of intensity? Can we represent to the full house that's going to be there? Can we give them something? Now, is it enough to win? Brilliant. But if it isn't, if you can go away thinking, do you know what, I want to see that again. I want to see that. I see a team that identifies who I am. And that's from Rosette and 24 or whatever. It's like, that's what I want. That's what I care about more. That you go to a game that you know everyone's giving everything they can. Because that's who we are as people, no? You know, it's okay, we need to be a bit more excited because we're appointment. I don't care. My hand, you know, that's more important to me, and that's what I want, and that's all I care about. Honest truth. Leading to this, there'll be other opportunities, but I'd like to take this one. If we don't, we'll take another one. No matter what it is, it's always going to be that way. So I wouldn't see it as building up to a defining moment, because I like to feel like I did in my playing career. There was always defining moments. There was always moments. There's another one. There's another one. But what I've learned from playing and actually going into coaching, enjoy every second of it. Enjoy every second of it, because it's not here forever. It's not here forever. And I'd like to be around in this coaching for a long period. But if it doesn't happen, I'm going to love every second of it, because I don't believe I've done it enough as a player. And I'm not doing that in coaching. So all I see is this moment, the Belgium one, is like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. That's more important. Cheers.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thanks, Craig. We'll break out now for the written press, 20 minutes for the written press, and then we'll do the one-to-one interviews, BBC, S4C, and then Sky and TalkSport, yeah? Okay, Joe, if I could push you to clear the room so we can get on with the written press here, please. If you could do so quite quickly, we'd appreciate it. Diolch yn fawr, thank you.